So this morning, BBC Radio Kent's Phil Harrison is just outside Maidstone at the home of the charity Dandelion Time, one of the beneficiaries. Phil, good morning.
Good morning there, Anna. It's a bit of a cloudy morning, faint spots of rain in the air, but it isn't dampening the mood here at Dandelion Time. I'm here in a quiet country lane just between East and West Farley. We've got the Medway off in the distance, and it's the main home of Dandelion Time. They do have satellite sites near Ashford and Shorn as well, so a multi-site charity. They, of course, are just one of the organisations here in the county who've benefited from your generosity towards children in need in the past. And we're here to find out what they do today. And who better to tell us than Rachel Rodwell? She's a caseworker here at Dandelion Time. Rachel, really good for you to join us this morning. Can you just describe what Dandelion Time do? Because it's such important work.
Yeah. Well, Dandelion Time, our charity, we support vulnerable children who have experienced trauma or bereavement, loss, neglect, or family difficulties and breakdowns. And they're presenting with some really challenging behaviours sometimes because these children are saying, I'm hurting, I'm scared, I'm worried, but they don't know how to convey that. And so they come to us in our rural settings within nature, and they come with their parents or their carers or their foster carers or their adopted parents. And we believe that for children to have the best possible chance of recovery, it's to work within the family system, to work with those attachment relationships. So the family come to us, and the minute they get into these grounds, the science will say that our cortisol levels, our stress levels have reduced so dramatically just by being outside in nature. So they come here and already they're in a really calming and nurturing environment. And we offer a 10-week program with the families where we offer a range of natural crafts like woodwork or clay or felting with our own wool from our flock of sheep. And they're purposeful activities that help them build connections with themselves, how they're feeling, but also with others too. And we work a lot with animals because animals, they're so calming. To stroke an animal, or the children will say, I feel calm, I feel relaxed. And it helps to build their empathic response too.
Yeah, I can hear the donkeys braying in the distance at the moment. I think the donkeys have woken up. It's a 22-acre site as well, and it's the healing power of the countryside that you're wanting everyone to embrace.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, I think so many of us are disconnected from nature. Modern living is all about being busy and not having time and space. Nature slows us down. Nature helps us feel calm and regulated. Nature gives us space, and it's in that space, in that nurturing moment, that children are able to begin to say, this is how I'm feeling. And also it's, being out in the woods and running through the woods and making dens and building fires. It builds their confidence and their resilience too, because, when you can't strike a firelighter very well and the spark's not coming, they need to stick at it. And, so many of our traumatized children have little resilience. They give up straight away. So this is about building confidence, and it's about building bonds too.
And generating a happy childhood as well. This is memories that will stay with them the whole lives.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember when I was a kid running through the woods and, making dens and making potions out of bits of old leaves. They were really carefree times. And, so many children don't actually have that opportunity these days. They don't have it. And so they come here, the minute they run up the field, their nature is there. What shall we do today? And they're grubbing around in the ground, building things, planting things. They are immersed in nature, and nature heals. It really, really does.
And of course, you're celebrating your 20th anniversary. You've helped well over 1,000 families in that time.
Oh my goodness, yes. And these are significant changes we have made, because when a child comes to us, they are highly anxious. Then quite few of them are nonverbal. And to see them going out excited and with so much more understanding about how they feel, being able to articulate how they feel, we see significant change. And we really hope that they will be able to carry those tools through life with them, because trauma freezes us at the point of the trauma, and we don't develop those tools that we need for healthy development. So we are sowing seeds here that they are beginning to have those tools, and also the tool of communication to say, this is how I feel.
That's Rachel Rodwell, one of the caseworkers here at Dandelion Time. Join us throughout the morning, Anna, as we find out more about Dandelion Time and, of course, where your generosity towards BBC Children in Need, where that money is going. It's now with me is Graham Carpenter. He's the CEO, and he joins us now. Morning, Graham.
Good morning, Phil.
Now, you received £90,000 in the last spending round. That's quite a large amount. It's one of the largest amounts that a charity here in the county has raised. Where does it go to?
Well, it's most definitely needed. We use that funding to help the most deprived children who've experienced often trauma or loss, abuse or neglect. And these children are very often really not provided with a service that helps to change the future of their lives in a meaningful way. And we find here at Dandelion Time, engagement with nature, in being outside, being part of the real world, if you like, and experiencing the senses. It was quite cold this morning and overcast, but in a way that provides a great opportunity for children who've been struggling to get outside, to be part of the world and be active in their hands. And those kind of experiences are deeply therapeutic. So, yeah, all of that costs money. And the funding that we are provided with is vitally important for the charity's continuation, and especially continuation funding. That's to say more than 1 year, but having 3 years of funding enables us to plan for the future and to grow the charity. And that's what we're doing at the moment. We're looking to expand and develop our work so that we can reach all areas of Kent. This is a very, very important strategic development for us at the moment.
Now, we've had a bit of a tour of this 22-acre site. I think we've barely scratched the surface, actually. But already I've seen guinea pigs, I've seen donkeys, I've seen chickens. I've also seen a bit of building work going on. That expansion is continuing right now.
That's correct, yes. Well, animals are very important, hugely important. A guinea pig is entirely vulnerable, if you like, and needs caring for. And so children can develop their capacity to care. And by working with animals, they can really explore those emotions and the situation with life and death as well. Really, really important for children's overall development, but particularly for the children we work with. And yes, we've got some building work going on at the moment. We've got a new building being constructed. We're increasing our training. So we're training other people, in education, social services, and in health environments, helping other professionals to look at a different way of working. After all, this was a charity that was set up by a GP who felt she was stuck with a diagnosis and a medical treatment plan which really wasn't working. And she thought at the time, let's get children outside. And so, so our building work is to help us to work with more children. We've worked with around 1,500 children, and maybe more. And actually, the impact has been on many thousands of children over the 20 years that we've been working, and that is actually forms a sizable dimension of care and transformation in children's lives.
Yeah, we heard from Rachel, one of your family caseworkers earlier, the reinvigorating nature of the countryside. And some children go to school, part of their lessons is forest school. They can go out and spend one afternoon, say a term, actually understanding the great outdoors. You're able to do that for many children who don't have access to gardens, maybe local parks. This is somewhere that they can get close to nature.
Indeed it is, yes. Nature is available to us all the time. It's available to everybody. We can all get out to nature, but actually we don't. And here it's part of a process, part of a very gentle process, therapeutic process for children, and the encouragement to get out there into the natural world, into the sights and into the sounds, into the experience of kicking leaves. It's all the sort of stuff that actually I remember as a kid doing myself, and it's really great to see it with the children who come here.
Well, Graham, you're doing really good work here. That's Graham Carpenter, the CEO of Dandelion Time, based just outside Maidstone, one of the local Kent charities that's benefiting from your Children in Need donations. Now, I'm in a field with one of your favourite animals. I'm here in between East and West Farley, just near Maidstone, and it's Dandelion Time. They're a 22-acre site in the middle of the Kent countryside that offers place really to re-engage with your emotions if you're a traumatized child, and they do that with woodwork and animals. And in this field at the moment, with their ears pricked up, are two black alpacas, and one, caramel coloured one. Also with me is Carol Bridges. She's a director here at Dandelion Time. Just explain how the animals here really help the children.
So the animals really offer a connection that is other than human, which is really important because the children feel that the animals don't judge them. They're not going to, it's unconditional. So if the children are able to calm themselves, they can actually approach the animals, which are quite selective, particularly the alpacas, about who they will come to. And I've seen children who've been very distressed and quite dysregulated actually really calm themselves so that they can offer some food to the alpacas and then stand motionless, waiting for them to come. And it's the most amazing reward when the alpacas think, actually, this child is going to be safe for me. And they come and eventually eat from their palm.
It's a rewarding experience. So we've seen chickens, guinea pigs, donkeys as well. They all react differently to the different children who come here.
One of the most memorable occasions that I recall is a little boy who was very, very lively and very excitable and spinning round in circles, and he really wanted to come and meet the donkeys. And I said, well, I think you can only meet the donkeys if you could be like a little mouse. Do you think you could? And to my amazement, he said yes. And he managed to contain himself. And we went into the field where the two donkeys and the sheep were, and it was astonishing because the donkeys lined up and the sheep stood behind them in line, waiting for his strokes. And we didn't do anything else because this was the therapy, him being accepted and then waiting for his strokes.
Amazing work. Of course, this is one of the charities that benefits from BBC Children in Need funding. You received £90,000 in the last funding round. It's important to have that regular funding for a charity such as yours.
It's absolutely crucial, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the BBC Children in Need and also to thank all of you listeners who support this fantastic charity that I know support lots of charities across Kent. It is really meaningful and it really makes a difference. And from the bottom of my heart, I would say thank you.
If you're a charity yourself and you're listening, would you encourage others to apply for funding from Children in Need?
Absolutely. They're a most amazing service to work with. And we've been very grateful. We've worked with them for about 12 years now. So we've been very blessed.
Well, I think the magic feed has come out. So if we're lucky, we might be able to go and feed some of the alpacas now. So I'll leave you to it, Anna. Hopefully they'll come over and see us. In fact, yeah, they're looking very, very alert. That magic feed truly is magic. They weren't interested in us before, to be honest. Now, we've got alpacas all over the place. This is Phil Harrison for BBC Radio Kent at Dandelion Time near Maidstone.
I'm jealous, Phil. Give those alpacas a treat from us here in the studio. Sounds nice, doesn't it? And it's lovely to hear, actually, how it works, how children are benefiting from their time in nature, outdoors, with animals. And of course, they get help from BBC Children in Need. That's why we donate. That's why we make sure we raise as much as we can. Phil Harrison then at Dandelion Time, just outside Maidstone.